Opinion of CZW. You worked one match there.
I got friends who work at CZW, like Jimmy Rave, and that's probably actually, it sounds a lot more harsh than I actually mean it to be, but yeah, I worked CZW and I worked for Justice Pain, and
How'd that match go?
that was terrible. It was, I felt like I was carrying 500 pounds on my back that didn't want to listen, you know. It was like, ugh. It was horrible. But the main thing is like how Zandig does business. Like, you know, like there's a ref there that hands out the paydays, and somebody else gives you your finish and stuff like that. And he just kind of sits there and, you know, like looks cool. And you know, like he's not even the one who called me. It was like Eric Gargiulo like called me and booked me, and I was kind of like, yeah, should I do it? Yeah. And then finally I did it, and it wasn't the worst experience. You know, it's like a lot of people say that I got treated like shit there. I think I got treated disrespectfully by Zandig. I didn't get treated by shit by anybody else. You know, I'm sure there's a couple other guys that probably didn't like me, and they probably still don't. But my match sucked. I was sitting there, I had my pay in my hand, and I was about to leave, and I was looking at Zandig, and I was like, punk, don't say it. Don't say anything. Don't ask. You really don't care. Don't ask. Hey, Zandig, what'd you think about my match? Damn, why did you say that? Because he looked at me and he said, well, I've seen Chris have better. And I went, okay, well, you know, I've had better matches too, you know. But I think maybe, you know, and then he's like, well, you know, I mean, you worked Jerry Lynn, it was awesome. And I was like, yeah, I'm not so much Jerry Lynn. You know, Jerry Lynn can carry a bag of shit, and obviously I can't. So I said, maybe the problem was you and your champion don't know what the hell a babyface or a heel is, you know, because we were going over the match, and I said, well, I think I'm going to get a babyface pop. You know, I'm just coming off of having a fractured skull. I've never wrestled here, and for some reason, I'm really over here. You know, like all the fans talk about it on the internet, blah, blah, blah. If I'm going to be like this mystery opponent, I'm pretty much going to be a babyface. So what are you anyway? And honest to God, he looks at me. This is, what's his name? Justice Pain. He looks at me and goes, well, I'm a babyface, but I act like a heel, you know? And I just went, no, I don't know. I was like, can you be a heel, please? Can you be a heel? And it'll be like, I'm kind of chasing your title, and, you know, and then you get the win, and, you know, and it just, 1 second in the match he wants to be, I want to do this one spot where I kick you in the balls, and then I want to do this one spot where I shake your hand. I'm like, I'm not shaking your hand if you kick me in the balls. I'm going to slap you in the face, you know? It's just, like, that's what I had to deal with, and like, it would have been fine if it just went horribly, and that was that. But it went horribly, and I got blamed for it. And it was the one instance in my life that it was completely not my fault. So yeah, I just remember Zandig, like one of the last things he said to me was like, you know, yeah, well, he said something to me about, you know, I just don't see what the big hype is about you. And I was just like, yeah, neither did Eddie Guerrero, because, you know, I worked him a bunch of times, and he fucking loved it. So, you know, I'll just take his word over yours, and I will never see you again. Goodbye.